We're glad to know you're still there and watching The Breakfast. Right now, we go to the human angle story. That's what I'd like to call it. EFCC, that is the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, has confirmed the arrest of social media influencer Martins Osei, popularly known as Verydarkman, following multiple petitions accusing him of cyberstalking. EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale told BBC News on Monday, May 5, that the arrest was based on complaints from several individuals. He stated that the agency is preparing to arraign the influencer in court. Oyewale added that Osei will be released once he meets bail conditions, assuring the public that the commission is following due legal process. Now, our guest this morning is Dr. Peter M. Piper, civil society activist and public affairs analyst. Good morning and welcome to the program, Dr. Piper.
Good morning, Nyangul. It's always a pleasure to be right here.
Okay, this news that I just read here was what was carried by BBC and some bloggers and all that. Even one of my colleagues, Rufai Oseni, also carried it, that EFCC had confirmed the arrest of this. And then EFCC in their official handle went to that BBC page and wrote that it was fake news, went to Oseni's page and wrote that it was fake news. They neither confirmed nor denied it, and they did not say anything about the charges and all that. But here we are, an activist or whatever, depends on where you're standing, has been arrested in a Gestapo manner that looks like he was being abducted and all that, and put in prison, quote and unquote. And only now we are hearing that he has been released. I'd like you to say something about what has happened and the modus operandi of EFCC and the case that they built around this activist, Verydarkman.
All right, Nyangul, thank you very much. You see, this country, we live in the most beautiful country in the world. You know, Nigeria is a place where nothing surprises us anymore. You know, we can't be surprised. This is a place where someone arrests someone and then makes a statement on BBC, not a local channel, and then comes out to say, sorry, I didn't say what I said. You know, I didn't say what I said, or maybe you didn't hear what you heard, or I didn't say what you thought I said. Now, let's put this properly in perspective. I want Nigerians to know why activists are deliberately being hunted down. I want to set the record straight because most Nigerians, you know, have forgotten. You know, some of them are so young they don't remember. The president of Nigeria today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was an activist. Don't you ever forget that. Some of us are not kids. We knew during the time of the Civil Liberty Organization, CLO. We knew during the time of Nadeco, you know, when there was a fight for a civil rule, because I can't call this democracy anymore. There was a fight for civil rule. Tinubu was one of those who radicalized a lot of us into becoming activists. And I remember quite clearly, quite well, that when the heat was on at that time, he went on exile. For those who don't understand the meaning of exile, exile means say, you cause problem for your country, you take off, you run. So the rest of us stayed behind. Some of us refused to join mainstream politics. Some of us have been in the opposition and as activists forever. The price we pay as activists is poverty, and some of us have gotten used to poverty. I remember in 1993, when the freest and the fairest election in Nigeria was annulled by a military dictator called Babangida, who just wrote one small, tiny literature. You know, I don't know if that book is up to 4 pages. They claim it's 400 pages, but I don't know what you're going to explain in 400 pages. You know, the man has just confessed that the election was won. And I want to let you know, Nyangul, that I was a young man at that time, beaten up in the streets of Surulere for protesting, dragged along the road. I still have the scars on my body, dumped into a military vehicle and taken to prison. No charges, no nothing. Nobody was arraigned in court. That was what we all suffered. And at that time, when we were fighting against the military, asking for what we wanted, which was democracy, but they handed us civil rule instead of democracy. While we were doing all of that, the present president went on exile. Another word for Japa, you know. So he understands activism. So you see what he did to the end bad governance. You know, they started arresting kindergarten children, throwing them into prison. So Nigerians were shocked when they saw little babies brought, you know, to the law court. So, but when you start picking on social media influencers, like the Verydarkman, I think you're treading on very dangerous waters, you know, because let me tell you what unites people. Poverty is a bond. It's like cement. Anger unites people. Hunger unites people. Suffering unites people. Right now, Nigerians are going through untold hardship, untold pain, and untold suffering. So when you begin to pick up the influencers that people see as part of the voices of their own consciences, when you begin to profile people and you want to call them criminal, and these are people that Nigerians see as the conscience of their collective struggle, then you're going to get a very strong resistance. Let me just round up my first part by saying this to you, Nyangul. Today, Nigerians, we say we're about 200 million. Oh boy, I don't tire for who they make this calculation. It's just like telling us Jesus died 2,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. I've been hearing this thing since I was a child. Is it still 2,000? You know, so we all know that this country, right now we are over 250 million Nigerians. Don't deceive yourself. And we know that in 25 years from now, which is in the year 2050, our population in Nigeria is going to be about 450 million Nigerians. I repeat it again. By 2050, the population of this country will be 450 million people. So if the government keeps trying to do things by force, we will need to remind them, how many policemen do you have? How many soldiers? How many Navy? How many Air Force? Put all of these people when they carry gun together. If you put them side by side with the Nigerian people and the Nigerian people become really resolute, will you be able to stand that? So it's time we begin to play this thing down. Don't go picking people up. Last year, I was personally incarcerated from February 27th till the end of March. You know, I refused to cry, and they didn't charge me for anything. I kept on asking, what have I done? What have I done? They picked me up from the airport in Asaba, my own state. I'm from Delta State. What have I done? What have I done? For 1 week, they said, well, we're suspecting fraud. I said, fraud? Who did I try to defraud? Well, we think it has to do with impersonation. So who did I impersonate? And after wasting 32 days of my life, they let me go. Nyangul, this is the country we live. It's unfortunate.
If you have been to jail, whether it's a cell, a police cell, or a prison or something, it becomes like, you know, it's something really nice. It shows how far your voice can go. But it also questions what people see as activism. Maybe the present president now was not actually an activist. He was just positioning himself. It's not activism. He was just doing things that will favor him. And whenever the heat came, he ran away. But my greatest concern is not just because Verydarkman was arrested. My concern is who polices the police. Because if the EFCC can do this and they get away with it every time it happens like this, then what hope do we have? Who is responsible for policing the police so that they too will know that they cannot go beyond the ambits of the law? They will arrest somebody and they tell you tomorrow that we did not.
With the song of Marumi, if you ask me,
now who I go ask? It's a
if you ask me
thing.
now, who I go ask? The police are very, very swift when it comes to pursuing we activists. They know our numbers. They follow us everywhere. And I keep wondering, if the way you follow we activists is the way you pursue crime in this country, there will be no criminality. Why don't we see the difference between activism and criminality? Activists are not criminals. We want a better country. We want to see a better country. And you see, let us not just put all the blame on Tinubu. You see, 2023, there was an election. I didn't vote for Tinubu. Tinubu, sorry, I don't vote for you. And unfortunately, the man I voted for is now behaving like a complete mumu man. It's unfortunate. Even the man that I voted for in 2023, presently, he doesn't have a political party. So this country is a cruise. It's like a cruise ship. All these politicians, they use Nigerian youths, they catch cruise. You know, all of them, they're all the same thing. You know, and when you see a lot of people come into activism, I tell them, if you truly want to be an activist, pick up what you are active for. If you want to be a political activist, be a political activist. You want to be a human rights activist, be a human rights activist. You want to be a civil society activist, be a civil society activist. But you know, most of them just come in because all they want is the popularity. Because they know if you continue as an activist until you're as old as I am, the consequence is poverty. So if you have to go into this, you have to take an oath of poverty, accept poverty, get used to poverty, and take away from your mind the sin of avarice. You know, wanting too much for yourself. Look at our politicians. They're not satisfied with one private jet. They need 2, 3, 4. Look at the preachers, the pastors. They need 1, 2, 3, 4 private jets because God is a billionaire. God only listens to rich people. God hates poor people. You see, this is an institutionalized stupidity. They have captivated the minds of our people. So people today respect only those who have money. You know, I was walking down the street someday and someone looked at me. How can it be you with a C for TV? I said, yes. You can't be walk up a road. I said, where am I supposed to walk on?
In the air.
I'm not supposed to live in heaven. You know, these men are making themselves really popular. Nyangul, do you know that a 1-year-old child, a 1-year-old baby, recently was shown different pictures of different leaders, and he couldn't recognize them. But when they showed this 1-year-old baby the picture of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the child said, Tutubu, Tutubu, this is Tutubu, Tutubu, Tutubu. Which means even 1-year-old babies are feeling the pain and they can recognize the name of the man causing the tea pain.
Okay, Dr. Piper.
You know, the pain is real.
Yeah, Dr. Piper, right now it's the journey to 2027. Whatever happens, whether it's in the police, the army, security, politics, agriculture, everything is a journey to 2027. And we're talking about the case that brought us this today is the Verydarkman, who is an activist as well. Now, we know that 2027, we're not talking APC, PDP, or any political party. If we want a change, it has to be the largest political party in the world, which is the people. And the only connection the people have to the throne is activists like you and some other people. What is the game plan Because otherwise, if we rely on going on election day to vote, the game plan that we're seeing right now from politicians is to make it so bad that people will have voter apathy. They don't want to come out. Only their loyalists will come out. And if in a population of supposedly 500,000, only 100 people come out to vote, it's the 100 people that will matter at that time. So what are the activists doing? What's the game plan for the 2027? Because everything we're complaining about stems from bad leadership and the recruitment process. What is the game plan?
Thank you so much, Nyangul. Very brilliant question. You know, when these guys are playing their own game, they don't know that the activists, we the people on the ground, we also have our responses to this. See what's going on now? The country is becoming a one-party state. These guys have no sense of history. I think they should go back and open all the history books and find out what happens when any country slips into dictatorship. When a democracy becomes a one-party state, it's going to be the most beautiful thing they will ever do. You know, I'm so happy when they are all defecting to APC. Let them go and join APC so that 2027, it will be they versus the people. You know, anytime a country descends to this level, where they have just a one-party system, then there is a very sharp line. The battle line is drawn. We can see them and they can see us. So that is when it's going to be so beautiful. I'm from Delta State. I just saw what our guy did in Delta State. He practically packed everybody into a gongoro. You know those type of vehicles in those days they call gongoro.
Yes.
Packed everybody into it and moved all of them straight to the OPC. And we can see it's happening everywhere. You can see Alex Oti is on his way to APC. All the governors are on their way to APC. Let them go. We will stay with the people. And listen, no one in history ever fought a war against his own people and succeeded. Find out how it happened in the Arab Spring. Keep daring the people. The more you give them poverty, the more they unite. The more they suffer hunger, the more they become strengthened.
Oh, wow.
The more you give them deprivation, the more you harden them. So 2027 is going to be them and the people, the rich against the poor, the political parties against the ordinary people. Let's see what happens this time. And we will never make the mistake we made in 2023. We can see that I told you I didn't vote Tinubu. I voted for a guy called Peter Obi. Today I regret ever casting my vote for that guy because the guy has shown us that he's no different from the rest of them. We can't predict the future, but we know 2027 is going to be the people versus the status quo.
I hope that you start now because 2027 politicking has already begun, and if you don't start now, grounds will be gained. There will be more alignments and realignments and all that. I hope that you start now to conscientize the people, to educate the people, and do what needs to be done so that 2027 will just be, like you said, them between them and us. But this is how we have to wrap it up today. I would like to thank you, Dr. Piper, for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure having you in the house.
Thank you so very much, Nyangul. Nice to be here.
Have a wonderful day. We're talking with Dr. Peter Piper, and we were looking at some issues around what is happening in Nigeria, and we're hoping there will be solution. Especially the issue we're discussing was the arrest of the Verydarkman by Efcc that later denied. They didn't arrest him, no charges and all that. We hear that he has been released, but let's hear how the story develops from here on out. Well, we'll come again tomorrow for another edition of the program, but for now, it's bye-bye, and my name is Nyangul Agaji. Bye.